What is it about sports that can bring strangers together? I mean, I've gone to sporting events and I find myself hugging strangers when something fun happens, and it's
Yeah.
kind of weird when you think about it later. But what is it about athletics that really just kind of makes us mesh?
Yeah, so this is one of the things that we love about sports ministry. And so at Upward, when we partner with churches to bring sports ministry to a church campus or to a community, it brings people of all colors and stripes and backgrounds. Sports unites people. And so Barna put out some research during the pandemic that said about 95% of Americans interact in some way with sports every day. They read about it, they watch it, they hear about it, and so they're discussing it. And so sports can unite people. And so what we do, David, is our goal is not to replace the gospel with sports. Our goal is to use sports to present the gospel.
And I want to stay there for a second because that's such a powerful thing. How are you seeing churches use that to their advantage and use just the concept of sports itself to their advantage?
Yeah, it's been incredible to see how churches who are having an increasingly difficult time getting people to come to their campus are using sports to bring people. And so let me just give you an example of that. God has blessed Upward. We added 212 brand new churches last year. And I believe the reason is because churches are realizing that sports can be a uniter and bring people. So our average basketball league across the nation it's a little more, but it's close to 160 kids. And so about half of those kids at any league across the nation are not affiliated with that church. And so you've got 80 kids who are not affiliated with that church that's doing sports ministry, whether it's through Upward or someone else or on their own. We don't really care about that. We're about the gospel. But those 80 kids are going to have adults with them as well. And so usually they'll have at least a couple of adults. And so of that percentage, a lot of those not affiliated are also unchurched. And so I say to pastors and church leaders, you're never going to have more lost people on your campus on a Sunday than you can on a Saturday. And so we use sports as a vehicle to bring people to the cross.
That's great. About how many, I know this probably changes, but how many kids are involved in like a typical year?
Yeah, so we just finished up our basketball season, and I think the last time I looked, we had 160,000 kids that were playing basketball at one time. And so this year we'll probably have 220 to 230,000 kids playing sports. And the great part is every one of those kids is going to hear the gospel, and every one of those kids' parents is going to hear the gospel.
See, I'm just trying to take that in for a second. 230,000 kids. Yeah. That will hear the gospel. And like you said, you can multiply that number a little bit because the parents that are going to be there, maybe double it, maybe triple it, they're going to hear the gospel simply because their kid is involved in playing sports. That's incredible. That's just amazing. And kind of going along with that, there is a philosophy out there that says that if you can reach the kids, you can reach the parents. Is that how sports ministry often works, getting to the kids first?
It absolutely does. And so let me just affirm that Upward, we love other things that churches do. We're not in competition with Vacation Bible School and Awanas and all those things. What we love about sports ministry is instead of a parent dropping their kid off, that parent is actively involved in that experience on the campus. And so you've got sort of a captive audience every week for an hour during practice, and then they're there for game days for an hour every week. And so a church has an opportunity to build relationships and to communicate and talk to parents. And so absolutely, it's a great avenue to get parents to come to Christ as well. And we've got some wonderful stories around that I'll share with you at some point.